Fig Life, Iron Man Mk85. Hey, what's up everybody? This is Ryan with the Fig Life. You know we live in it. I'm going to show you this 1/7 scale Iron Man figure I just got off AliExpress, which is kind of almost 1/6 scale. You can fudge it, but it's pretty badass. Came in this shipper right here. I get a lot of stuff in this when they ship things from China. Works pretty good, nice and soft. Here's the outer box. It's got a bunch of like Chinese lettering and stuff on the other sides. It's pretty cool. And here is the inside box, Iron Man Mk85. Pretty snazzy looking box. It's got the shine kind of print on it. Pretty deluxe, you know. Even if it's a knockoff, they still got, you know, look at that, like little reflecto there on the A. You know, there's some more Chinese in the bottom. Looks pretty sweet. And there's a picture of the figure, I believe. There's the side. You can pause it if you want to read any of the stuff, if you can read Chinese, I guess. And it's got like the outer kind of sleeve here. It's pretty great looking. Look, pretty much just looks exactly as clean as like a Hot Toys figure. Even kind of nicer. They really don't do any kind of like duotone shiny stuff like that. So hey, you know, snaps to my homies in China. They did a good job. I'm Iron Man. This is a whole little spiel right there. Again, you can pause it if you want to look at it. I don't have a turntable yet, as you can see here in the footage. So coming soon. This is going to be the janky video that doesn't have a turntable. And there's basically like several inner trays inside. Look, they even put it on the inside. That's hella nice. Really, just all together, like the presentation is really great. I mean, this is things like around maybe $100, maybe a little less. I mean, how much does it even cost to print that fucking stuff on there? I mean, that's pretty nice. So, yeah, here we go. I'm just going to take each one of these little kind of trays off and show you what's in there. A lot of stuff comes with this. It's pretty awesome. I mean, the value for the money is outrageous. Comes all wrapped up like a mummy here. That's good. Get some plastic. Check that out. Okay. And here's your boy Tony Stark. He looks pretty awesome. I really like the colors. They really pop. It really catches the light. Proportions are really sick. I mean, it looks great. It's got these little magnetic shoulder pieces that just rise up when you lift the arm. Super great engineering. And they got pretty strong magnets. They just snap right on like that. No problems at all. I mean, I did drop them several times while I was looking at it, but I mean, that's fine. Their job is to, you know, come apart then so you can get good dynamic poses and stuff like that. Pretty much everything is like ratcheted. You can hear it as it's moving around. Yeah, just great colors. I mean, this has got to be the best Iron Man armor out of all of them. It looks, I think, because it looks the most like the comic armor. It comes with the nano gauntlet in the snap. I mean, like, and it's pretty much, it's scaled to like 6 scale too. So, I mean, it's fantastic. And you can light up the actual stones. Like the hands light up. It's really sick. I mean, again, it looks so great. The sculpting is fantastic. And you can use it for your 6 scale stuff. So literally just for a box of 6 scale accessories for your Iron Man, this is not a bad deal. And hands, you know, maybe the hands aren't compatible, but look at that thing. It's got the little blade looking like something out of Halo. Pretty badass. I just love that red, that like candy apple red. It's really striking. Got a bunch of hands. This one, if I can ever get it out, here is the hand that connects onto the shield that he has. That kind of goes in there from the other side. You know, I'm just kind of fumbling my way through here as I looked at it for the first time here. And that goes like into there. There's like a little kind of peg on the outside, and it slides in. There we go. I found it finally. And then that connects onto the shield. And the shield is way thicker and more kind of sturdy than the Hot Toys one. That one's like a little tiny packing plastic. This is another neck piece, which I'm not sure exactly why they included it, because the neck doesn't seem to come off, nor is there an unhelmeted head. But maybe it's for customizing, which is cool. Got some open hands. You know, and those light up. All of them light up through the middle because the hands light up. You know, maybe not the grabby ones, but definitely anything that you can use to blast. So we got some grippy hands. Got some punchy hands right here. Get your punch on. And again, great color. Looks really nice. I mean, I've got a bunch of Hot Toys figures, and they're really not, there's not a huge difference in the quality of the stuff that's in here. I mean, in some cases, it's better. You know, got a lot of trays. You can see we got the back, you know, kind of focuser. It's like beam focuser, whatever it's called. I'm not really sure. Looks like a fresh robot starfish. And it pegs onto the back. And just look at that. The light just catching it. Look at the details on there. It looks fantastic. I mean, yeah. Look, I mean, this shield looks so sick. It's really nice, thick plastic, too. I know I don't have the Hot Toys 85, but from watching the review, it looks like that it was just like some thin stuff, which, you know, helps, I guess, for holding it, but this one's way more robust. It's really nice. Then we got, it's familiar to anyone who collects Marvel Legends, we got some blast pieces. An interesting thing is the big blast pieces go into the foot, and the tiny ones can go into the hand, but you have to like punch out the hole somehow, and it doesn't seem like it comes out easy. So I don't know, it's weird. It's almost like for customizing. You got the batteries that go in. More, you know, epic fucking story about that later. You'll see. It's really hard to get a lot of those in. You got an amazing base that lights up with 2 different modes here. It looks really great. Also can be used with a 1/6 scale figure because the difference is really not that big. It says Marvel on it. You know, it's plastic. It also can run off of USB, which I think is fantastic. And why doesn't everything from Hot Toys that lights up run off of something you plug in USB? It's ridiculous that it doesn't. No one wants to futz with these batteries. There's a mode where it flashes, you know, it's like, yo, look at me, I'm flashing. Really nice, on off. And then there's a just on mode with a button on the back. You can see. Really nice, you know. I mean, definitely much more legit than you get from a fucking Hot Toys figure here. And little tool, a little, you know, screwdriver to put in the batteries, which was nice. They didn't have to do that. Put a screwdriver in there. Here's everything laid out that it comes with. And that's a lot of stuff. I mean, that's a good amount of stuff. I mean, we're talking like a sub $100 figure here on AliExpress. I will put the link below so you can pick one up too. And it just looks amazing. I mean, like the proportions. I mean, I love the face on the Mk85. You know, it's a little different every time, and I think they really it's the best version of it. Just really super nice. You can really just see it is a handsome figure, and the chest piece comes off like that. I mean, look at that. That looks sick. You know, they didn't have to do that. Obviously, the people who made this figure really love Marvel and Iron Man and stuff. You can tell. So this front piece comes off, and then he turns into another fresh-looking robot, pretty much. It even looks cool on its own. That's where you put the batteries in and then turn on the light-up eyes. Here we got the whole back here. Just a really nice-looking figure. And, I mean, it's got that, like, kind of half-janky feel to it, but is good enough for the price, especially. Here it came with a booklet that just does not have anything that's helpful in it whatsoever. There's like a diagram of like all the components with like the friggin' damn near electronic points on it, but not any directions on how to like put in the batteries or do anything. There's just very like things that say like there's like a little sun and it's like this lights up. It's like, oh yeah, no shit. But just not helpful at all. Kind of funny. But they really had to make sure that you knew that it went 90 degrees, how to like turn an elbow. That's good. I'm glad they took up the real estate on that to show you. Yeah, look at these diagrams. I think they're like, there's screws in there and there's all. It's kind of funny. But yeah, so here's the figure. It looks, again, amazing. Got the janky turntable I'm going to do one more time. This probably isn't the last time. Just to show you, look, it just looks so great. I mean, that shit is outstanding. Great from every angle. I mean, it's just a really, really good looking figure. Sometimes stuff you get on AliExpress can be, somewhat janky and kind of good from a distance. But this has got to be the best one I've ever gotten. Like in terms of just, like the even close up, it looks good. You can hear the knees are ratcheted. Pretty much all the joints are ratcheted, so you can get them into some really dynamic poses. The ankles, they don't really move that much up and down, but everything else is so flexible, and there's good engineering to kind of get it in every different pose that you would want. The toes do that, so that kind of does the job of it moving a lot, because you can just put the foot back and then it can kind of sit on that front toe. The thighs swivel like that. You can see there's like a ball joint inside as well, so there's like a multi-joint kind of situation where it really gets a lot of good, movement. It's almost like a better executed version of like what the McFarlane 7-inch figures do. It just I immediately just think, damn, this is like, you can just sit this dude on the couch, you can just be kicking back like in Iron Man 3 where he's just kind of posted up on the couch. Like, it's pretty nice. The hand doesn't quite reach, but yeah. And then look, the back, like when you pull it back, like it separates into multiple parts, so it can get really, you can hear it squeaking. So it gives you kind of an idea of just, what it's doing. But when it's squeaking, that means it's kind of like tight, so that's pretty cool. You can see it flares out. There's like these crazy kind of multi-part joints that look really great. And then the hands you can hear them clicking. That's really cool with the magnets, because then the shoulders always are just kind of like looking pretty good. You can kind of reset them yourself a little bit, and they stay pretty good, but they float, which is nice. Nice idea. You can see the little details under the arms on the stuff, like the gears and stuff. It's really sick. I mean, it's really kind of like an inside. Yeah, look at those little inside details. I mean, those are great. And I kind of even like it with the silver. Like if you didn't even have the thing, that's cool. I like the Homecoming suit where he had a lot of silver on him. I thought that looked good. And yeah, this is it's got kind of like you see also that little kind of exterior part just bops around. Like it's just like this circle of like other little robot part that kind of fills the gaps in, just so it looks good from every angle, which is really pretty cool. I mean, the engineering in this is just, again, really awesome. I'm a huge fan. Everything clicks around. Everything's got these joints, so you can do just fresh poses with him and different flight poses and fight poses, and it'll just stay. Who knows how long it'll last, you know? But I mean, it's not like Hot Toys figures are, have some stuff that lasts forever. I would say it's not very different in quality for some of them, All this stuff, rotates around here. You can see on the bicep. Basically, the wrist is it's not like necessarily a jointed thing. It's just like, because it lights up, it's just that little kind of nipple that sticks out like that. And the different hands go on there. But they can rotate around. That's really all you need, having so much articulation on the arms. Snap that bad boy back on there. You can hear it making them crazy noises. But just like a lot of, just look how far back that goes. I mean, you can get some sick flight poses, because the head comes up pretty good too. So it's just really a nice look. I mean, the silhouette on that thing, I mean, it just looks great. Super posable. Like I said, that stuff falls down, but then you put it back on. And it's cool. The magnets, it's not like it's breaking anything. Yeah, you can see inside, there's kind of like some, joints where it all connects. But it closes gaps pretty good, It's the way that they have it worked out here. That's magneted on as well. Pretty nice. Trying to snap a pose out here real quick. The cool thing about posing stuff like this, just coming from a person who's an illustrator, is that if it can balance in figure form, it can balance in real life. So it's like a really good way to actually find good poses if you want to draw, because it makes it realistic to where that actual object has to stay up. And then if you were to draw that, it would be legit, because a real person would have to stand up. So, pro tip, if you're trying to draw stuff. But yeah, that just really looks just so good from a distance there. It's just nice. Nice and shiny. Really fun. It's fun to mess with, It's like Hot Toys figures. A lot of times they're like dolls. It's not like you get the same kind of fun as when you're posing like a Marvel Legends or a Black Series figure or something. But this one's kind of in between, because it's engineered and it's plastic, so it's kind of an action figure. So it's just like a cool big. It's like the sickest Marvel Legends Iron Man that you ever got. And this thing is pretty cool. It lights up, supposedly. I couldn't get it to actually light up. I think mine is broken. Also, QC issues, but again, for the price, and how often am I going to have it lit up? Almost never. So the body kind of comes apart. These outer pieces come apart, you can see, and that's where you put the little batteries, and that's how you turn it on and off, and then it would light up the chest. So you have to add the batteries right there. Every one of these little battery slots, there's 2 batteries. This one I kind of had to mess with to try to get 2 to fit in there. It's a whole saga to put the batteries in. So unless you think you're going to really light it up a lot, I would just, which is what I do for a lot of Hot Toys figures. I don't even put the batteries in, because I'm not going to be having them on that much. And you can see kind of the whole 2 little floating tire looking things that are on the side. But also just, if you did this and took the top off, I think, it kind of looks cool too as a weird little figure. So here's the other neck piece, I'm guessing, right? I mean, this is the neck piece. The thing is, the neck doesn't seem to come out. I don't want to pull too hard, but maybe it does or something, and it's, kind of giving you a piece of a spot for an unhelmeted head. But A 6 scale one wouldn't really be probably totally in scale, so it's kind of a mystery as of this moment. So you just kind of open up the top of the head and put the batteries in right there. This is probably the easiest one. So and this one and the chest one are the only ones, honestly, that are that mega. The chest one probably being the most important for Iron Man, if you're gonna just have one. The eyes are pretty good. I found them not to be quite as bright as the chest, but they look good. I mean, in person you can really see them for however long you're gonna actually have them on, and that looks cool too. I like it without that piece. It just looks like a cool robot right there. You could have like a whole army of those. You could, just take the thing off, and for that price, you could have a whole like little legion marching behind him or something. That'd be cool. Yeah, so you got to kind of like bend this little piece of metal. It was way too out when I got it. So, you have to kind of just do a little bit of work. But, that's the thing. You're getting it for cheap, and you put a little work into it. It just looks so nice. So then this has a little kind of thing you pop off there. And this one I was unsuccessful. So I put the batteries in. I tried to do it. Tried the batteries 50 different ways. I don't know if I broke something as I was bending that piece down. Maybe I messed up the connection. Maybe if I soldered it or something. And then you can see this is the back piece. You have to actually pop out this back part. Again, I had to figure all this stuff out over the course of a little bit because the booklet is no help of any kind whatsoever. And you got to just kind of pop it, and then it is latched on the bottom. So it's probably just on there really firm, but I feel like once I pop mine off the first time, the figure will usually be turned, I'll be looking at it head on. So then that's cool. I'll probably just leave that in the box for when I want to push on the cool projectors or whatever they're called in the back. So then this is like comically ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Like I felt like a Three Stooges movie trying to put these in. Because there's a battery right there at the top. And so every time you try to put him in, the battery gets grabbed and it keeps popping up. Like it just keeps pulling the battery up out of the thing as you're trying to smush it in there, and it's all not ergonomically whatever. Not of all the engineering in this thing that's amazing, this is not engineered well at all. Because I understand what they're trying to do, and they did make the thing super easy, pops right back on. So that part is cool. But look at this. That is so sick, dude. Look at what the stones are glowing hella much. I mean, the thing is, yeah, if it came with this, the Stark head sculpt, and I'm sure you could customize a 6 scale one to fit on here. Because, obviously he had his mask off when he snapped, but, who cares? It's an action figure. That's a cool part. As you're playing with it, it doesn't have to be right out of the movie. I mean, it just looks great. That is bright, like in a normally kind of evening lit room like the lighting right here is. It's looks really good. And then you got your hand here. You can put your fresh Halo looking stab machine thing. And that's cool. It's like clear plastic with that great red and yellow and gold or whatever. It looks like the floor. Yeah, so the bottom has those little pegs. The foot pegs are pretty cool. I mean, that's pretty great. I mean, they're pretty substantial, too. It's like a pretty thick plastic. You get your boy just kind of jetting around, just like, oh, what up? And then these smaller ones are kind of like, they're the size of the hole, right? But it doesn't seem like that thing pops out at all. So I don't know if you have to actually cut it or something. You never know. Sometimes things they just include it and they're like, you're on your own. Do your best. So here's it with the shield on. I don't know if it's the right side up or whatever. I don't really recall this part, but it's pretty cool. I mean, you get this. You're really going into battle right now, And you can see it's kind of like it's the downside of it being more robust than the Hot Toys one is that it flops around. So I think that's why Hot Toys just made it as light as possible to not stress the joints. But it's really nice, when you're playing with it like action figure, that it's kind of a nice piece. It feels very firm, and it seems like he's holding them up. I've had him posed like this on my shelf just to kind of take advantage of all the stuff, but I threw on the back thing, and it's holding up. I mean, he's holding the thing. It's not getting floppy or anything yet, so. And then that kind of pushes on there, and it's kind of a little bit of a chore to get on, but it's because it keeps knocking like the kind of chest and back piece apart. But it looks super ill. Like, this looks so great. This is how I have it. And here for, this is the 1/6 scale. It's actually the knockoff Tony Stark from Iron Man 3 that I got from AliExpress, which is amazing. If you haven't got that and you don't have the Hot Toys version of this, get it immediately. It's like $60 total, and it's fantastic. I'm sure they made it at the same factory where they made the Hot Toys ones. So you can see that there's a little bit of a difference in height, but between 1/7 and 1/6, depending on where you put your, figures in relation to each other, it could totally work. Plus, Robert Downey Jr. is mad short. So here is him next to Hot Toys. I got it cheap. It's actually a production version. Here's him next to Thanos, the Hot Toys Thanos. So this totally works. I mean, Thanos is gigantic, and Tony Stark is short. Robert Downey is very small. So in real life, that'd be it. Here's him against, the Mezco Thanos and that super awesome Hydra Stomper. And here's another amazing AliExpress must-buy. It's this Captain America that they have. And it's like also $50 or something. And it's got a great suit. I added a hammer from Marvel Legends Thor, the 12-inch ones, but great shield, great boots. Just for the pieces, that Captain America's worth it. And here he came with a stand, and look, you can kind of put him in a cool pose. Look at this. I mean, he'll kind of hold like that. I had it sitting, so, it doesn't have the full kind of dynamic flight stand, but you can do it. And here he is again, just kind of get this kind of janky rotation going for you. Just to kind of look at how nice this thing is. Yeah, I mean, if you're even remotely on a budget and you're trying to get into 1/6 scale stuff, you'd be crazy not to get this. It's so worth it. Here's some close-ups. Just kind of really see that great color and the details and stuff. Just really nice. The back of the legs, just another pull-up here, just see all these great details, they really did great work. Look at that, just the red. It's just beautiful. The shine on that thing is, it really, really catches the eye. It really, really has shelf presence. And the gold looks great. The whole thing. Really great release. Just snaps all around to the team that made this. Hope they got more coming, because this is great. I will pick them all up. So yeah, that was my first video. Thanks so much, everybody. And, give me some comments down below. Let me know what you thought, and I'll catch you on the next video. Cheers.